Hey guys, Brian here, and this is my EA E3 2015 press conference impressions. I should say that compared to Bethesda's and Microsoft's press conference, this one wasn't as impressive, but it did have its impressive moments. One of which being how they started, which they showed off some of the new Mass Effect. Mass Effect Andromeda, they didn't show off too much. What they did was really beautiful, and I'm sure they'll show more later this year and possibly even next year. But then they sped right into, no pun intended, Need for Speed, and they showed off a lot of the cool customization options that you can do, very similar to how you can customize your face in Fallout 4. You can point at the different parts of the car and on the fly change the wheels, the body type, the engine, every little detail of the car that you want to change, you can change. There's supposed to be 5 different campaigns that interloop with each other. Not sure how that really works. And other than that, they had some really realistic graphics. I'm interested in seeing if they look that good when the game ships. And it's coming out November 3rd, so look out for more information later. Then they went on to talk a little bit about Star Wars: The Old Republic, mainly a new expansion they're coming out, free to subscribers, which is the Knights of the Fallen Empire. And it's supposed to continue on your character's story, and it looks very interesting. Honestly, I haven't played any of The Old Republic. I heard it got bad reviews to start, then it kind of redeemed itself, and it's nice to see that they're still supporting the game and the loyal fans that play it, and I'm sure that fans of the game are really excited for this new expansion. Then they talked a little bit about this little cutesy puzzle platformer called Unravel. You play as a yarn boy, and there's different ways you can use your yarn to traverse different objectives. And one little move they showed was kind of like a Spider-Man swing with your yarn. It looks really cute, and I'm interested in seeing how the game feels and how long the game is, and just to see how it plays out for them. Then a dude in a zombie suit came out and danced around, and we got more of Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Now, they did show off a new mode and some new characters. The new mode was this co-op defense style mode for the zombies to defend against the plants, and they showed new characters, like I said, like the Imp and Super Brains, which has this laser that he can shoot at enemies, but also has some devastating melee attacks. And it looks really fun, and it's really goofy and silly like Plants vs. Zombies always is. And I'm sure a lot of people will have a lot of fun with it. And it's nice to see a first-person shooter that the kids can play, honestly. You can also transfer your characters from Garden Warfare 1 and on to Garden Warfare 2. That's a really interesting mode. Then they showed off a little bit of NHL 16, and then they showed off a little bit of NBA Live 16, not too much as well. They showed off this new app you can have for your phone. Scan your face, your front, left, and right, and then put it in the game, and then bam, you're in the game. That seemed really cool. There was new ways to play, obviously. Sorry if I'm not excited about the sports game announcements. They're not my cup of tea, but I understand that a lot of people love the games and they are interested in it. And I'm sure that these new iterations will be the best, being that they're all being made for next gen in mind. They showed off some of Rory McIlroy 16, the new golf game, and I really liked some of the Tiger Woods games, and it looked beautiful. It was running in the Frostbite engine, and I'm sure that will be yet another great golf game. Then they talked a little bit about mobile, and this is one part where it kind of slowed down the conference. They showed off this new Star Wars game called Galaxy of Heroes. It's supposed to encompass the entire Star Wars universe. Seems like an interesting mobile game, just nothing I'm interested in. And then they had this Minions Paradise mobile game, which seems a lot like Simpsons Tapped Out, but with minions. Then they showed off FIFA with Pele, and this is where it kind of slowed down the conference when it comes to games. They literally sat down with Pele for like 10 minutes talking about soccer, and people who care about games might not really care about this talk, but I'm sure sports fans were going crazy. Then Mirror's Edge. Yes, Mirror's Edge Catalyst is real, and it does look amazing. Now, as an aside, I'd like to point out, Mirror's Edge, the first one, also looked amazing, but I'm interested in seeing how it plays, because the first one was kind of clunky, to be honest, and I'm interested in seeing the design choices they have and the control choices that they have. It is, however, pretty awesome that this one is going to be open world from what I understand. There's no load screens. You just go to an objective, finish it, and go on to the next one. So it seems very more open world in that sense, and it's an origin story of Faith, and it does seem like a interesting it's not necessarily a reboot, but in a sense it is, because it's going back to the origin story of the main character. Then, and that's coming out February 23rd, 2016. Then they talked a little bit about Madden, new passing systems, new receiving systems, just so many different things about Madden that don't interest me too much. Sorry, not really a sports game fan. One thing that I'm sure draft fanatics will love is they do have a new thing called Draft Champions, where you can draft your players and then play draft games in it. Seems like a really new, cool mode that they're really pushing, and I'm sure there will be plenty of draft fanatics that are all up in that new game mode. They have body relative throws, like I said, new passing system, 3 new catch types, that have their strengths and weaknesses, whichever ones that you choose. And then the big one, Star Wars Battlefront. Star Wars, they have a new kind of bot mode that you can play if you don't want to play with other people. It was all captured on the PS4, and it just looked beautiful. They showed off a very recognizable battle, and they didn't show off too much, which I don't think they have to. But the game looks beautiful. The guns look great. The gunplay, it's Battlefield meets Star Wars, and that is the best combination that you can ever think of, honestly. And I can't wait to spend many, many hours playing Star Wars Battlefront. And they showed glimpses of being able to play both Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker and command your squad as them. And that's pretty much all I have for EA's press conference. Like I said, not as exciting as the other press conferences, but there were still exciting parts to it. And I'm sure they'll show off more and more games. More and more of these games, the closer they get to release. And they probably still have plenty of surprises up their sleeves. But that's my time on this impressions. Catch me soon for the Ubisoft conference analysis, and we'll see what they have to talk about. I honestly, I'm hoping to see more UbiArt framework games. I really liked the Child of Light, and also Valiant Hearts: The Great War, and interested in seeing if they announce a sequel to those games. And I'm sure we'll see more of The Division, Rainbow Six Siege, all of that. But catch me after the press conference of those two games, after the press conference rather, and I'll talk more in depth with what they show off. I hope they have new IP as well as show me some of their existing already known about IP. But anyways, that's my time. If you like the video, like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the show. I'm at Brian Poteet on Twitter, and I'll see you in a little bit after Ubisoft's press conference. Bye.